Morning, y'all. It's Monday morning, and we're getting back into the swing of not having a 3-day weekend or a short week last week. If you had a short week last week, I hope you had a great holiday weekend. I was a little bit sad to hear about the fires popping up in different places in the state. I saw the one in Bountiful, and then also I think Provo, maybe not Provo Canyon, but somewhere in Provo. A couple acres caught on fire. A lot of things are still on fire, and it's a lot of work to put that stuff out. It's very dangerous. I think that it's a good time to think about that if you haven't started yet, and do your part, because only you can prevent forest fires, although those are probably more brush fires than they are anything. Anyway, I hope you have started your week off on the right foot. Had a good weekend. I was able to check out LA Smacks Food. They had actually a booth over at the West Valley 4th of July celebration at Centennial Park. I saw a lot of people there, and it was good to see them. I was mistaken only a couple times for somebody else. That's a newer phenomenon in my life. Most people don't even know who I am, which is okay. But it's always interesting to be mistaken for somebody else, because then it makes me wonder how well you know that somebody else. Because I don't think we look alike, unless you're talking about Queen Latifah. I know I look like Queen Latifah. Anyway, moving on. Conversations with Pella is brought to you by Utah Grown. Utah Grown is a place for education. It's a place where you can go to find out what you need to find out in order to participate in the Utah Medical Cannabis Program. So if you're a potential patient and you're thinking about whether or not this fits your wellness needs, you can go on utahgrown.co and find out if you have a qualifying medical condition, and find out hours that you can go and apply for your medical card at the brick and mortar part of the Utah Grown facility. If you are a medical provider and you have patients who have questions that you are not quite sure how to answer yet, or you want to know how you can participate in giving your patients medical cannabis cards, all of that information is available at Utah Grown. And they have programs where they can come to you and educate you and your staff, or you can go to them and be educated by the staff at Utah Grown. There's a million ways to find the information that you need, but I'm telling you now, all of it is housed at utahgrown.co. So check them out, find the information you need, and remember that only qualified medical cannabis patients qualify to participate in the program. All right, so on to conversations with Pella. I have said this a million times. Conversations with Pella. I'm Pella. I rarely ever say that my name is Pella, but that is my name. If you're related to me, you probably call me Bella. It just depends on which side of the family you're on and which country you live in as well. Anyway, I was thinking about this. There's a song that's out right now from Yung Miami, and the hook of the song is Spend That. Well, it's a little bit more than just Spend That, but the name of the song is Spend That. And a lot of people have had a lot of opinions about whether or not this is a good song, whether this song is going to lead people to scamming, because it's a song about scamming people. And to be honest, I heard the hook before I caught on to any of the discourse, because it has taken off on IG Reels, it's taken off on TikTok, it's taken off everywhere. And even little kids sing the song, and a lot of them say spinach instead of spend that ish. You know what I mean? Because that's what they think the word is. Spinach. Spinach. It's a catchy song. I doubt that I'll ever learn all the words to the whole song, mostly because I like to keep my music tastes right in the late 90s, early 2000s. In fact, I'm a liar. All of the 90s into just a touch of the early 2000s. That's my favorite era. I don't like to, I know I'm a little bit rigid about music, and I don't step outside of what I like very much. But it's okay, because that's the point. It's okay. Everybody gets to like what they like. However, last week, India.Arie, she put up a comment, and I believe it was on Threads, on Instagram Threads, where she said something along the lines of, it just shows you some people just don't want to be free. And then, of course, more discourse took off because India.Arie weighed in on another artist and another artist's song, and the influence that the song was having. And here's the thing that I think about the most when it comes to stuff like that, because this is not something that is specific to India.Arie, although I feel like she does have a tendency to do this when she run out of relevance and she's been quiet for a long time. But it happens in a million different ways, in a million different cases, where somebody has to weigh in on somebody else's decision. And it's a decision that has, like, it's one of those kind of things where if you like Young Miami, then you can like Young Miami. If you like that song Spend Dat, you can like it. And somebody else having an opinion about you liking it kind of feels odd. It's not an opinion about necessarily the song, but it's almost like a judgment. The way that India.Arie had said her thing is almost about a judgment towards the people who like the song. Now, I don't think there's a problem with, I mean, everybody has opinions, right? What do they say? Opinions are like, I'm going to say belly buttons this time. Everybody got one kind of thing. Um, um, it's never mind. I'm not even going down that rabbit hole. The thing about it is that India, it's not really even about her. It's more about the fact that it's a little bit about her, because she's a music artist, and I have a lot of opinions about a lot of things, and about a lot of people and the way that they especially present when they are in public spaces. I have a lot of opinions. Most of the time, you will not hear that opinion. If I don't know you personally, you're not going to hear it, because I really believe that people have the right to think and feel how they want to think and feel. The reason is that if I want to be able to think and feel any type of way, I have to be willing. This is my logic. I have to be willing to allow other people to have that same freedom to think and feel however they want to feel. Nobody has to agree with me, but vice versa is true. I also don't have to agree with you. Now, with India.Arie, I think the problem for me was that when she said what she said, it didn't feel like um, just an opinion. It felt like a judgment to the people who liked the song. It felt like a judgment to an entire community, but it also felt like just a tiny bit of, I would say, I don't, well, jealousy is a better word than bitterness, but I'm leaning still more towards bitterness. Just a little bit of bitterness that somebody could take something that to her feels so like abhorrent, and people just love it. Like it goes against everything that her career has tried to speak to. She's definitely an artist who believes in elevating. That has been her thing. That's her entire career. And I'll be honest with you, she came out during a time that I wasn't interested in music like that. So I know some India.Arie songs. I don't know a lot of them, but all the ones I've known are uplifting, because I think she believes in being an uplifting person. But sometimes that thought makes you feel like um, you have the moral high ground, and that people who don't think and feel like you are less than in one way or another, right? And I think that judgment came across in my mind a little bit bitter, because now this other woman who's putting out music that has like it's not great to tell people to scam. It's not a great thing. Um, but the song is catching anyway because it's fun. It's a fun song. It has catchy beat, catchy lyrics. It's easy to dance to. It's easy to have fun to. People like it. And it's not because they're scammers, it's because the song is fun. Like and that I think is just the bottom line of it. But the fact that you hate to see people liking something like that, I think speaks more to how come when I did all of this, I didn't have the support of the people. How come? Um, Listen, I'm gonna say it goes a little bit back to personality. Some personalities just hard to get along with. But here's the other thing. I think that sometimes people find things that they really feel quite passionate about, and they begin to have kind of a missionary temperament. I've been there before. I've been there before where what you think about, you just think that it like makes perfect sense in every direction you look at it. This is the right way to be. This is the right way to live because this is the way that will bring you happiness, peace, prosperity, whatever it is, like you are thinking about. And you get in that missionary temperament, and now the only way to think is to think like you. And not we, but people tend to, when they're in that way of thinking and being, they tend to want to tell everybody else how to live and everybody else how to think. And then if you don't follow along with the way they think and the way they feel, um, you become, in a way, a representation of evil or of something of that nature, something that is terrible because you don't think and feel the same way that they do. That's and but I will say this. I feel like the missionary temperament does actually come from a good place where people really genuinely feel like they have an answer that would solve your problems. They have an answer or something that would make a difference to you. However, I there's a shadow side to that. And the shadow side um, to that personality or that way of thinking is I would say it's probably paternalism, in that they start to parent you through your life, and they begin to move from a place of I know what's best for you. And when humans are smaller, when they're littler, that idea of I know what's best for you is it makes a lot of sense because grown folks, we've already been through that part of life, and we're looking at small humans, little children, and we know. Listen, I know what's best for you right now is a nap. I know what's best for you right now is for you to stop drinking all that sugar and Kool-Aid and drink some water. I know what's best for you is this. I know what's best for you is, that makes sense. When people start to get grown, when you rob them of the opportunity to think for themselves and make decisions for themselves, then plenty of times what you get, instead of somebody believing that you know what's best for them, is somebody moving out of resentment because you forced your opinion so hard that they are just going to fight back against you. And I feel like uh, some of the backlash that India has experienced. I mean, she did leave this op-ed on under somebody else's video, um, talking about how somebody showed her that for them this song is representation of somebody that she cared enough about that she heard what they were saying. But then the op-ed that came after that, about, and I don't think this, but I think this, but I don't think that. I was like, the only thing you're really showing us is not that you like this creator's video, even though that's part of what you said. It's not that your friend showed you something that, and now you realize that there has to be space in the world for other people. It's not anything else except I feel irrelevant and nobody has asked me a question directly. I put this thing out there and it caused a whole big storm, and everybody had philosophized about my opinion and opposing opinions, and nobody asked me anything directly. And I feel irrelevant. I should be able to control my own narrative. But also, I should be getting some distance out of this. I started this discourse. How come it's not promoting my music further? How come it's not promoting my career further? How come it's not giving me more access and more acceptance, not access, more acceptance? And I started this. I think that that's where the comment section confessional comes into play. That's actually why I love the comment section. I rarely have a comment to make about anybody's post or anybody, unless it's funny, I might laugh. But I think that a lot of the times people don't understand that the comment section is a confessional. The way you react to things tells us everything about where you are in life, which is, if you want us to know, that's fine. If you don't want us to know, that's also fine. Um, but the way that we react to things really is the tell all to where we are and how we're doing. And honestly, I don't think this woman is doing as well as she'd like to portray. She's probably doing just fine financially. She's probably doing just fine, living her life. But there's a part of her that is like the limelight People can miss the limelight because they're not in it, or they can miss the limelight because the limelight won't let them back in it. Lots of thoughts, but that's where I think I'm going to stop for today. Okay. Hope you had fun getting ready.